Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Orlando Valido, Oli Valido, or Pimp Oli, as they call me here on YouTube. I'm gonna bring you another contribution artist from way in the 1900s. Past the 1900s. And first, before I get started, please subscribe and like to my channel at 9:10 p.m. August 3rd, 2025, with a temperature 85 degrees, still here in Miami area, believe me or not. Okay, let me show you the first picture of this guy for you, right there. And the name is Wilf Carter December 18, 1904 to December 5th, 1996. Wow, long time, huh? Let me read for you the autobiography of Wilf Carter. Okay, his real name is Wilford Arthur Charles Carter, December 18, 1904 to December 5th, 1996. Professionally known as Wilf Carter, is a native Canadian, also Montana Slim, United States, who was a Canadian country and western singer, songwriter, guitarist, and journalist. He wrote over 500 songs. In 1971, Wilf Carter was introduced into the Nashville Songwriter Hall of Fame, widely acknowledged of his father and Canadian contribution. Carter was Canada's first contribution star, inspiring generation of young Canadian performers. Early years. Carter was born in Port Hereford, Nova Scotia, Canada. One of the 9 children, his father was a Swiss. He began working at the ODD job at the age of 8, Canadian, Nova Scotia. He began singing after seeing the traveling Swiss performer named the Jolene Pool in Canadian. Carter left home at the age of 15 years old, falling out with his father, who was a Baptist minister. In other words, his father was a Baptist minister of the church, who knows what the name of it anyway. In 1923, at the age of 18 years old, after working as a lumberjack and singing with the hobo vocal, Carter moved to Western Calgary, Alberta, where he became friends with Pete Knight and found work at David Ranch near Brooks as a cowboy. In 1979, Carter was the Grand Marshal of the Calgary Stampede, STAMPEDE. He made extra money singing and playing his guitar at dance, performing for tourist parties and traveling throughout the Canadian Rockies. During this time, he developed his own journaling style, sometimes called Echo Journal, or 3-in-1. About that, do you know that? Radio years, 1930-1940, Carter performed his first radio broadcast on the CMCN, Alberta, Canada, in 1930. Soon after, he was heard locally on the CFAC, and naturally at the CRBC. 2 years later, he was entertaining tourists on the 12 rider of the Canadian Pacific Railway who performed horseback concussion, ESCURSION, into the Canadian Rocky Mountain, I would say. Carter soon became very popular in the region in the Rockies. In 1933, he was hired as an entertainer on the maiden voyage of the British ship SS Express. Later that year, he stopped in Montreal, Canada, and made his first recording of my first Moonlight Lobby. Lobby. LULLABI. And the capture of Albert Johnson after singing with the Canadian branch of the RCA Beto, my first Moonlight Lullaby became the first hit record ever by a Canadian country performer. That same year, Carter also wrote and recorded Midnight, the King of the Cowboy, which also became a hit in Canada too. For 7 years, in 1934-1940, he hosted his own CBS country music radio program, New York City. His announcer was Bud Park. CBS changed the name to Montana Slim due to appeal American audience. In 1935, Carter also performed on WABC radio. In 1937, Carter returned to Alberta, Canada, where he pushed events and continued to appear on CBC, NBC, CBS, until CBS dropped him in 1940. In 1940, Carter seriously injured his back in a car accident in Montana. He was unable to perform for much of this decade, but his popularity was sustained by the periodic release of a few recordings at that time. He would go with a recording session. He had a recording contract with RCA Beto for 5 years, 1947-1952, and they moved to Nashville, where he recorded with the Decca label record from 1954 to 1957. He sold his ranch in 1949 and moved his family to 180-acre 73 farm in New Jersey. New Jersey. Okay, here we go with touring 1949, 1992, 1949. Carter resumed live performance tour in Canada, United States. In 1950, he attracted over 50,000 people during the week of the Canadian National Exhibition Bandstand in Toronto, Canada, Ontario. In 1953, Wilf Carter started touring with his own show called The Family Show with the Folk You Know. His daughter, Carol Ann Sheila, worked with him as a dancer and back singer. How about that? In 1964, Carter performed the first time at the Carnegie Stampede, STAMPEDE. He also became the most requested guest on TV show hosted by a Canadian country singer, Tommy Hunter. Yeah, in the 1960s and the 70s, he toured with Hank Snow at that time. How about that? 1980, country music Queen Kitty Wall and her husband, Johnny Wright, encouraged Carter to tour with them, which was billed as Carter's 80th birthday tour from the 1980 to 1985. He toured different parts of Canada. In 1985, Carter toured with Slim Whitman, Whitman. In 1982, Wilf toured across Canada as a farewell tour. He will go with recording. Wilf Carter recorded over 40 original completion LP records for the RCA Victor, including Nugget of the Golden Watch, Christmas in Canada Song on the Railroad and the Range Song of Australia. Wilf Carter sang Jimmy Rogers and Let's Go Back to the Bible. In 1983, he re-recorded many of his most popular songs for 50 golden years. Yeah. In 1988, Carter recorded his last album, Whatever Happened to All Those Years. In 1991, at the age of 86, he made his last concert tour, approximately called the Last Roundup Tour, with a show throughout Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Ontario, and Manitoba. He retired the following year due to his loss of hearing. Wilf Carter died in 1996 at the Scottsdale, Arizona. Scottsdale, Arizona, 13 days before his 92th birthday. Wow, this is amazing. He was still performing at the age of 86. Amazing. It will go with business. In 1952, he moved his town to Orlando, Florida, where he opened Wilf Center for Wilf Carter Mother Launch Venue. Lasted 2 years, that's all it was. Let me say that again, for those of you that might not understand me. In 1952, he moved time to Orlando, Florida, where he opened Wilf Carter Motor Lodge, LODGE, venue. That lasted 2 years, only 2 years. Okay, there you go. Okay, here we go with Honors Award. HONOURS Award. In 1971, Wilf Carter was introduced to the Nashville Songwriter Hall of Fame. Yeah, Hall of Fame. He was introduced to the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame. In 1984, following year, he was introduced into a Canadian Music Hall of Fame, a Juno Award Hall of Fame also. He was made honorary chief of the Stoney Indian tribe. A video documentary was released in 2000 called The Last Run-Up, the Wilf Carter story, which examined the Carter distinguished career. It will go with legacy. It wrote hundreds of songs covering a wide range of themes, including traditional country western, cowboy folk, oboe song, is a recording of a blue Canadian Rocky. You Are My Sunshine. That's a real famous one among most of the popular ones. Fellow Canadian country artist Lang Tyson considered Carter as an influence of his music. Another Canadian artist, S.T.U. Davis, acknowledged that the importance of the Carter membership early in his career credited him with securing Davis' first recording contract with Sonora Records in New York City at that time. He would go with the graphic or the record of the year that he made, 1960, the Dynamite 12. The Dynamite 12, you heard it, 1960, song of the category Deped, STAMPEDE. 1962, The Missing with Wilf Carter. That would be REMINSCIN. 1962, By Request, yeah. 1963, Oh Perry Melody. 1964, Let's Go Back to the Bible. 1964, Nugget of the Golden Watch. 1965, Christmas in Canada. 1964 or 1965, I would say, Yodeling Memory. 1965, 32 Wonderful Years. 1966, God Bless Our Canada. 1966, Golden Memory. 1967, if there wasn't a farmer, what would city particularly do? Wow, this is a hard one for me. Okay guys, let me repeat that. 1967, if it wasn't for the farmer, what would the city secret SLICKERS do? 1967, waiting for the maple leaves to fall. 1968, hitting the track. 1968, how my yodeling day began. 1968, the song of the rail on the range. 1969, the battle of Wilf Carter. 1969, about the year of the Golden Watch. 1970, singing of the song of Australia. 1970, Away Out There. 1972, My Headache, Your Happiness. 1973, the 40th anniversary special. 1973, Wilf Carter Best Wilf Carter Was. 1974, Wilf Carter Souvenir Album. 1978, Walking Street of Category. 1979, I'm Happy Today. And 1980, my home on the range. Yeah, on the range. Here we go, we started a single. Years, 1973, Shoo 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 La La. I hate city, and the album was My Headache, Your Happiness. 1976, Have a Nice Day. It hit 27, and the record and the album, Have a Nice Day. Okay, 1988, Whatever Happened, 91, and the album was Whatever Happened. Yeah, whatever happened. Okay, with this, I have finished the biography of Wilf Carter. Wilf Carter. Let me read the background information, and we're done with this autobiography. Birth name, Wilfred Arthur Shaw Carter, also known as Montana Slim, the Jolene Cowboy. Born on December 18, 1904, from Pittsford, Nova Scotia, Canada. Origin, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And he died December 5th, 1996, at the age of 91 years old. Scottish, Scottsdale, Arizona. Yeah, he died there. In Scottsdale, Arizona, U.S. January, country western, occupation singer-songwriter, musician, instrument vocal guitar. Year active 1930, 1992, label record, RCA record, Vector Bluebird record, formerly of Hank Snow, Lim Woodman. Okay, so this is all I got from the great artist from the 1900 to 1996. I would say Wilf Carter. Like always, I would like you to pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for your neighbor. That there is no more war, no more corruption. We need to live in peace and harmony. Okay, guys? Pray in the morning, mid-afternoon, and before you go to sleep. God bless you guys. I'll see you in 2 or 3 days. Bye-bye now.